Now that we have the snapshot view placed into the drawing, we can create bubbles and a parts list. It looks like it's just a little bit too large. It doesn't look like I have a lot of space to put a parts list, so I'm going to reduce the scale back to 2. Maybe move it out of the way. So under the Annotate tab, there's a balloon feature, and we're just going to click here. The first time you click the balloon and you click on a part, it wants to know the source, and that's basically the gearbox assembly. And so we're just going to go OK. And then you can then create these balloons. Now you can just click, if you click once, it makes a joint in the little arrow, and then you can click again. If you double click, then it kind of places that. I personally like where you go out and it has a little bend. It is not necessary. You can just have it like this if you just double click and have the balloon go straight out. So whatever you prefer. Now for time, I'm not going to put the little bend. You can do it as you would like. Now you do not need to do every single washer, because the parts list is going to tell us that there are 4 washers, and someone looking at the exploded view could see that there's 4 washers in the view, and they're all the same, so you only need to label one of them. So you only need to label unique parts. Okay. Again, a single click, you can move over and make a bend, and then double click. So in short, we want to label each unique part, and sometimes you don't have a lot of space to where you put the little bubbles. You want to be careful. You don't want a bunch of lines crossing each other, and you want to make it clear for the person who would be assembling it, or clear for the reader. So like this one is a little bit difficult because of where the gear is placed. Maybe we could put it here. Maybe we can put it over here. I think I'm going to put it on that side, but I didn't like the arrow coming from this side, and so I'm going to go back to balloon and click over here on this side and go here. We need to get the nuts labeled, the spool. We don't need to do another nut or another washer or another bearing, although it might be cleaner to label this bearing instead of this one. It doesn't hurt to label something twice. Like this is a bearing, but it's a different view, an angle of this bearing, so it wouldn't hurt to click and do this. But it isn't necessary to do that for every single one. And so once you have every every unique part labeled, then we can create a parts list. It looks like only part I don't have is the axle and then the spacer. And again, you can always go back and add them if you miss one. I think I have them all, but I am not positive. So now that I have those labeled, we can create a parts list. And so a parts list, we can click here. We're going to select what we want to make the parts list of, and then you can go OK and click, and basically it will tell you the item number that is pulled from the bubbles and the quantity, and the part number is actually saved as the name that you saved the part. That's the way Inventor works. Now if you look here, these are actually the gears, and so there's a couple of ways to change this. If you wanted to double click here, we can actually change what is in the list. I think it's under the column chooser. So you can add and remove, like maybe I don't want the description and maybe I want something else, so some additional information. And it appears that in the part itself, when it was designed under the part number, when that part was put, it was put under this instead of something else. And so you may want to put like the file name, and we can add file name and get remove the part number. And if we go OK there and apply, it will actually just give you the file name itself. And so sometimes that can be more useful. Then we can close this. Now, looks like I need to stretch this out a little bit. Maybe I won't have that one as wide, but I definitely want this a little wider. And then I'm going to move this over. And so you can change the width of everything so it fits, and then you can move it where you would like. If I hit escape, I can kind of, I think I can grab the whole thing and move it. I'm struggling here. Okay. That didn't move the whole thing. Okay, there we go. Now I moved the whole thing. So you can move it. You can also, it looks like the fonts are a little bit small. And so just like we've done in other drawings, you can go into the styles editor and change the size of the notes. And we should be able to change the size of the bubbles as well. I'm not sure if this changes the size of the bubbles. We will see. It does. So if you change the note text size, it changes all the text and the bubble sizes, just to make them a little easier for the reader. So once it all looks good, you can take a screenshot and put it in your assignment. And then you can save this, and you can save it as the Gearbox. Again, it's not going to overwrite the other files named Gearbox, because this is a Gearbox drawing, not an assembly or a presentation.